Okay, this is problem number five, chapter 5, section 2, problem 45. An exam consists of 22 multiple choice questions. Each of the 22 answers is either right or wrong. Suppose the probability of the student makes fewer than, less than 7 mistakes. On the exam is 0.24, and the probability that the 7 will make from 7 to 13 inclusive is 0.31, so it's including the 7 and the 13. It's 0.31. Find the probability in each of the following outcomes. A student makes more than 13. Okay, so makes more than 13 here. So they're looking at the probability that the student will make less than will make more than 13. So what you can do is, if you find out how many, you can use a complementary rule here. If you know how many that are less than 13, then you can subtract that off, and whatever's left is going to be more than 13. So more than 13 is going to be equal to 1 minus the probability that it's less than 13. So they're using the complement rule here. Probability of the complement of it is equal to 1 minus the event that it happened. So if you look at the probabilities, it's the sum of all the probabilities happening and not happening, add up to 1. So if you subtract off where it doesn't happen, then whatever's left is probability that it does happen. Okay, just like with heads and tails, if the probability of something happening when you flip a coin is going to be 100%. It's going to either be tails or it's going to be heads. So some of the probabilities will be 100%. So if you subtract off all the heads probabilities, you have probability that it's tails, 50.5. So this is what they're using here to get that done. So what I did here was I found the probabilities. I've added the two probabilities together, less than 7 and then between 7 and 13 inclusive. And when I did those were the probabilities, so I added them up. So the probability that the mistake is less than or equal to 13 is going to be right here, 0.55. So that's the probability that it's less than 13. Then I apply that complement rule here. The mistake is more than 13 is equal to 1 minus the mistake that is less than 13. So that'll be 1 minus 0.55, which is 0.45. And there's part A. So it's 0.45. Therefore, the probability that the student makes more than 13 mistakes is 0.45. In part B, with the probability they make 7 or more mistakes. So the probability that it's less than 7 is 0.24. So if I try to apply the same rule, complementary rule, you have the probability that it's less than 7. So I subtract off all the probabilities less than 7. Whatever's left is going to be more than 7. So I say 1 minus 0.24, which is 0.76. So there it is there. Part C, at most, at most 13 mistakes.
Okay.
So at most 13, inclusive there. We found that earlier. So that means the largest number of mistakes they can make is 13. We found that earlier. Here, at most 13, it's going to be 0.55. So probably that is at most is 13, it's going to be 0.55. Okay. Which of these three events are complementary? Two events are complementary if they are mutually exclusive and together they include the entire sample space. In this problem, the entire sample space is 0 mistakes up to 22 mistakes. The event of more than 13 mistakes means 14 through 22 mistakes. The event of 7 or more mistakes means 7 through 22 mistakes. The event that at most 13 means 0 mistakes through 13. Therefore, the two events are complementary are the event that the student makes more than 13 mistakes and the event makes at most 13. So when they're complementary, they add up to 1. Okay. So there's several in here. In this case here, less than 7 and more than 7 add up to 0.76. So you have a complementary situation there. Add up to 1. Okay. Here, more than 13 and less than 13. You add these two probabilities together, they add up to 1.